favorite matchups in the lane. You can easily catch him out. Or
very early in this lower bracket here at TI.
Yeah, if there's one thing you want to have as your coach when you're getting into these like high stakes games, it's definitely someone who can keep a calm.
That was quick.
head.
Omar first blooding Y. Good start for NGX. Go ahead, Cinder, and sorry to interrupt.
I think it's a very healthy sign for Nigma Galaxy that Kuro is as I think at this point for maybe NGX themselves even, you might have already exceeded expectations a little bit. You had an interview with... Oh, hang on.
He's in quite a bit of trouble. Omar is going to make his way over, but it's too late. Last right click is enough for Shiro to bring down Noob. Go ahead and continue your point.
Right, yes. So, a lot of Nigma Galaxy's games when they go late become kind of crazy.
Yes.
And Team Tidebound and Xtreme Gaming, the two big Chinese teams performing in this tournament, have been no strangers to playing very well late. And Nigma Galaxy's Achilles heel.
Right on top of Bach. They were fighting for this Lotus, and that's the death of Faith Beyond. Planet now on the run as both Ghost and GH will pursue. It's going to be close with this last right click as GH doesn't have brain sap up for a while, so that's true. Also, like you mentioned, NGX bring a style of play that feels extremely chaotic, regardless of them having a lead or, as we're going to see, a nightmare. Omar coming in as well. TP support is on the way. Dead shot back into the cogs. Nothing to say, in a lot of trouble. Planet and Wyatt made their way over, but nothing to say is already dead. It might be a trade for Omar, but this is a level 2 support, so definitely not favorable for Tidebound.
And of course, no surprise here, Sumail going for the quick draw facet, which is the classic way of playing Core Muerta.
GH, Nightmare, back into Omar on that level 2 clockwork, and you can see how hard it is for the Underlord to cast anything. The Battery Assault is such a good counter to these long cast time heroes, and Ghost gets the kill onto Faith Beyond.
Omar is everywhere so far on this.
The support's just roaming constantly, nothing to say. He's gonna know that GH is in the area.
Kuro asked his teammates, do you guys remember how you played in 2014? And they all say, no, we weren't born then.
Nothing to say. Gets off a fissure, blocks off GH. Omar's going to be fine, but it looks like, can he get the deny onto the creeps? GH attempts it, but nothing to say with the enchant totem kill. And they can see that there are a couple of stacks. Nothing too major to work with, though, yet for Tidebound.
Oh, Omar's just in there. He's going to chase here. There's the 7-minute wisdom that he would love to try to steal. That was part of why this Bane kill was so good when he got it.
And Bach is making his way from the north. Omar inside of the circular area, but Planet gets there too. So now Omar on the retreat. Good fissure from Nothing to Say, and this will be the death of Omar. Now his reign has finally come to an end, already with the 1 kill and 2 assists in this game. So a
little bit uncharacteristic. We've seen Bach play a lot of helms on his offlane heroes.
Yeah. Have they used it on Underlord though? I don't
know how much he's even played this hero this tournament, to be honest.
8-minute power rune is bottom. It's a damage rune as a dead shot does hit, so Planet will be brought down eventually, you would think.
The Troll's gonna get him.
Troll does get the last hit. More supports dying outright though, so 2 for 1 across the map.
NTS managing to kill off Omar there with the Echo Slam.
Inside those cogs, pretty crazy combo. And then with the calling from the outside. They have a lot of good fight potential on this NGX side. As Y, he finds himself Sumail, slows him, but GH is on the other side to finish the job. A 2K early lead for NGX, and
Galaxy's lineup is really good at playing these 2 versus 1 ganks or 2v2s. You know, you run around the map with Bane, with Clock, with Lycan Wolves.
Shiro found by Omar, level 5 right now. TP support on the way. He's just getting bounced left, right, and center. Completely out of mana now, though. Planet will be the recipient of the help of that homing missile. As Omar again looks like he's going to drop, but he is again just forcing so many heroes.
Thing to say on the Shaker, which I have to say is starting to become a little bit of a pattern in these games.
It does feel like that, yeah. Shapeshift from Noob. Warner Skits is coming out from Planet. He's just going to get chopped down, though, by the Lycan as Shiro slowed to a crawl. Now going to get chased by the Pine Cone and the Wolf. Pretty much out of mana right now. Why? Looks like he's going to dissuade Noob from going any further. Still quite worse for wear as Bach left to his own devices, though. Now inside the cogs with the Battery Assault, but with that TP, going to force the rest of NGX away. Nothing to Say comes in, trying to take out the Pine Cone. Looks like they'll be able to get that with the tower. But
fights are bigger. Still stuck around down bottom, and now he might just get dove, potentially.
Rocket Flare reveals his position, puts down the Pit of Malice. Omar, well, he still has the hook shot available. I don't think they're going to need it. He's getting completely surrounded here. But again, TP supports from Tidebound. This time Y shows up. There's the hook shot with the dead shot to follow. Bach still surviving, though. Super tanky, gets off the Firestorm, but now getting bounced left, right, and center. Sumail brings him down.
So we'll try to take advantage.
This looks like a Wisdom Shrine play from NGX.
Yeah, they're getting both of them.
Well, we'll see. There are TPs coming. Bach going to be in the middle of a 20-second fight again. A beautiful Cogs. That means GH can steal it. Mortimer's Kisses is set up pretty nicely. Stone Gaze, though, comes out from Ghost. And the first to fall is Faith Beyond again. And now look at this, the Nightmare. Onto the Earthshaker. Looks like Shiro shows up, though. And that means NGX will likely want to run away. GH going to be the recipient of the call down, so it ends up being a 1-for-1. It's a Global Silence finally coming out from Y. He dies shortly after, but this is the bigger kill.
Low.
Ghost super low on HP, on mana in this case. Pops the Lotus Zone, staying alive as a result. Jiro already using the flat cannon. Noob in the area as well, but nothing to say. Kind of running out of steam. Sumail coming in from the south, wants to continue the pressure, but doesn't have too many resources at his disposal, so looks like this might break things up.
That's still very much, once again, mission accomplished for Nigma Galaxy. You trade supports, but you get the wisdom. And again, Echo and Global
Omar
get
is
used.
still here. All right, how long you been there, young man? He will eventually be brought down by Bach. Actually, Shiro in this case, but yeah, back-to-back deaths for Faith Beyond. That certainly will set him back. I mean, he's 1-4 already in this game.
Putting more emphasis on it, because the Shaker games we've cast, we haven't really seen those like quad stack echoes into getting a fast blink and a full level. GH is in no man's land.
Oh yeah.
-1.
Easy kill for Tidebound. They're going to need a lot more of that. They're at
Very poor outlook here. Effectively, he's like position 3.5 from mid.
Planet runs into GH. Instant Nightmare. Nothing to say is in the area, though, and you can see the Fiend's Grip, or the Fiend's Gate, rather, from Bot coming to fruition, but now the TPs from NGX come as well. Echo Slam, this is all for a Bane, by the way. They're going to clean up the Earthshaker easily, so 1-for-1, mid for support. Of course, the mid is basically a support here.
I was going to say, you could argue a support for support. Both in, I mean, in particular, I would say in his Marcy game, but also the Shadow Fiend game wasn't too hot either.
Now Fiend's Grip, and we can see Snapfire left all alone, so easy kill for Sumail. NGX continuing to increase their lead. Y is spotted, again taken out in turn. So 2 support kills extremely quickly for NGX. And they're not too afraid of any response coming out from Tidebound.
Well, they're going to find GH, which is the smallest consolation prize possible.
They will do so.
All the way at their own base. Oh, I love this. I really think this is a good siege. I think they can commit harder to it and bring Lycan Wolves and everything, but...
Yeah, they find a little tasty snack in the form of Planet. Even uses Pierce the Veil to get that kill.
Planet with a rare sight here. 6 items in his stash.
Right through the gate.
So Bach is queuing up Aghanims now on the Underlord. We both love to see that. Of course, coolest when you've got the Gleipnir.
Oh, this was scanned out. Noob.
Oh, that's a very, very good read.
This might be 2 smokes in a row kind of waste, although Noob, he popped his ult inside the Pit of Malice, though. Reinforcements are going to arrive pretty shortly, but the Global Silence comes out and the Mortimer's Kisses destroy him. But incoming Sumail with the BKB Pierce the Veil. First to fall is the Snapfire. You can see the Fiend's Grip onto the Gyrocopter. Do they have the damage? They have the lockdown. They have everything. This is not even remotely close. And now the Underlord inside of that Nightmare, inside his own Pit of Malice, just getting kited to a high degree. They lose the Lycan to start the fight, but they can 4 straight kills right after.
Nothing. There's a couple of things I think they can do still, or that they especially could have done better.
Hook shot.
Hang on.
They find Planet. Dead shot misses, but they have the damage nonetheless.
Doesn't matter, yeah. It's too much damage.
Nullifier onto Shiro. Good Manta, though.
They have to have better formation. I think the way Nothing to Say arrived into that fight is just a no-go. You cannot...
Confident going for it without a pickoff first is the question. Because fighting against Tidebound in the pit is a bit of a scary proposition. And again, potential pickoff on the Planet. Hook shot to start things out, and now slowed to a crawl with that Scotty from Ghost. Another easy pickoff for the NGX side.
I think that's enough to go Roche. Like, just having any hero out of play.
Defensive, but...
Or if he wants a defensive item, you could make a really good case for Pike here, I think.
GH gonna force out the Fiend's Gate. Nothing to say, blocks off GH, but a nice force step onto the other side. Hook shot from Omar. Looks like they're gonna find the silencer. Y is dead before he'd be able to get off Global Silence. Attempting to go through his own gate. Bach, not gonna happen. Pops the Crimson, dies right after. Just feels like there is no opening for Tidebound.
If they want to take fights, they have to bring the gyro. I just think skirmishes like this are not possible. You're just very easy and good response, and very quick responses too from the side of Nigma Galaxy.
Oh, they see nothing to say. The Wolves have spotted him. He's going to pop the BKB and just get crit. My goodness. You talked about the BKB being picked up. That is not what he had in mind.
That's as you said, the BKB
for Omar. My goodness. Overclocking GH, another target found, potentially.
Yep.
This is going to be a volley into a kill. So Planet just getting picked off repeatedly.
Ghost 11-0 has had...
Doubt they want to go for the Medusa first. She's going to be spotted. Try to wrap around to their own triangle, potentially. Sumail could be a good target. But the smoke on the other side for NGX. Omar's going to pop in. Overclocker's place into the hook shot. The silencer stuck in place. You'll be able to get off the Global Silence. No! The silencer dead right off the bat. And you can see Nothing to Say does kill off Omar, but now he's going to get chased by Noob as Shiro full grip on the sideline. Lots of right click damage from Noob as the GGs come out. NGX just absolutely stomped Tidebound in game 1.
Wow, that was not even remotely close. And we were talking about this at the beginning of the game. Who is going to bounce back best from their loss yesterday? Nigma.
How come? Diffusal builder against Medusa.
Well, they're going to go for the Faceless Void here, so their lineup is going to be very, very slow, and you have triple melee calls here.
That
fits the bill.
Indeed, it feels like it comes back every single TI one way or another. The question is, will it be effective for Tidebound? As already we're getting action. Planet inside of the cogs. That is first blood for GH. Feels like we've seen this before.
Yep. Just hook shot for a little stun and the Stone Gaze. But potentially Void can kill the egg. The panel is talking about how he almost has to do it on his own. Oh, nice find there. Planet will get him.
Indeed.
Blood grenade.
Looks like Tidebound is now on the board for game 2. And in terms of the Chronosphere damage this time around, we've talked...
Was receiving some criticism earlier on for falling flat in some lanes in some games. I think on the big stage, he has been playing his best. And Omar as well.
Sure.
Oh, that is not an expected
soloed
kill.
by Sumail. That is a huge deal. Nobody even came to assist. Like, obviously old days need to be stacked.
Right.
But this time around, it feels like you do need to get into the action a little bit earlier. Speaking of which, Nightmare onto Noob. Level 6 has the arena. Uses the Spear as Shiro does have Chrono if they need it, but this is a 1 versus 3. So Noob will be brought down. We'll be to Y on the Bane.
And again, how do you kill Medusa? I think that's my big question once more.
Can come back to that as well. As the calling place from Sumail, they want to try to do something about this ancient stack. Deadshot does miss, but Y taking pretty heavy damage as the Pinecone will continue autonomously, it feels. Burrow strike onto Omar. It's outside his cogs, but Bach has come to make sure that he does not get out with his life. So the clockwork death as Pinecone is continuing the pressure onto Y. He'll finally get some reinforcements for this pesky creep.
If that fire spirit would have hit, he would have died.
Jeez. Nobody wants to deal with this bad boy.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but if you miss 2 or 3 spears in a row, you might be like, man, I'm having an awful game. But we've had games in this tournament.
Arena comes out with the reinforcements as well. Shiro's in a bit of trouble. Gets silenced thanks to the calling. Sumail showing up.
The re-silence
there. And Y looks to be next on the list for NGX. They're going to be able to get 2 kills here. And obviously the big one onto Shiro.
Nothing to Say is going to find impact. In the last game on Shaker, he was really struggling. Oh, hang on. Might have to wait with that. GH might just get chronoed here.
Shiro shows up. And actually, it's a chrono onto 2, so Noob can't do too much. That's going to be a freebie for Tidebound.
Okay.
Actually, a burrow strike finding Omar in the meantime. Gets off the cogs up. The calling comes out with the pierce the veil. It's going to be a lot of damage applied. A hook shot onto the top side as Y gets stunned out, but nothing to say is the big kill for NGX. And so far, a 1-for-1. As Tidebound now on the run. Arena is up, and Noob traps two members of Tidebound inside. They're going to be able to get the Tombstone along with the Bane, but Bach trying to go on top of Sumail. The Inkswell doing so much damage. Nice cog, though, separating him from the fight. Sumail now in a fight versus Shiro as the Stone Gaze comes out from Ghost at the last moment with the spear to follow. Huge kills from NGX. They save Sumail, and they get the core kills they came for.
Wow.
My goodness, that was as close as it gets.
A great counter when Medusa is ahead by even a slight amount.
Oh, hook shot from Omar. Bach gets silenced as well. They're going to use the arena, but the spear misses. They're going to take out the tower in turn, and they might just back away as Bach is going to get reinforcements now. TP via the Bane, but here comes the epicenter from nothing to say. A lot of damage applied as GH will drop to the deck, and now Sumail slow to a crawl.
Oh, that's
Soul
so
Line, a double grip to follow, and Tidebound have finally woken up in this series. Double kill for nothing to say, a 3-for-0 for Tidebound.
And this right there is the perfect example of what we talked about with how polarizing Mars is. You need something to start going their way, and this time around, Nothing to Say has a meaningful amount of net worth, and he's putting it to use.
Yeah, they're going to use the Inkswell Burrow combo. Not enough. Amount of damage, but the Yules is going to save Noob. Meanwhile, Nightmare to prevent Omar from initiating. As the hook shot actually does hit on the other side of the river, Planet stuck inside the cogs now with the Sunray to follow. Dead shot as well. That'll be a dead Grimstroke.
It's honestly, it's such a cool combo for really change the game on the Grim. So he's missing about 2/3 of it. I say rushing. He's not rich.
No,
he's getting it first item.
Nightmare set up from Y. There's nothing to say with the Inkswell. This is going to bring GH down. As Ghost does show up. Looks like they're going to be able to get the kill onto the Bane as here comes the rest of NGX to easily take out Nothing to Say. A good response after their Phoenix goes down.
Nice and easy there for Noob on the Mars Spear, and then immediately forms the arena. Sand King walked into him in Sandstorm, so that one is just a clean hit. Have a free game. Perhaps you can solve him in the late game.
Oh, this would be a huge kill if they can find Noob. Gets silenced to start things out. He's second net worth in the game, by the way. Really good start for him. Shiro jumps in, though, with the Chronosphere. Sunray is there, and that's going to dissuade Tidebound from going any further. Epicenter combo, though, onto GX, but he gets the egg at the last moment. Can they kill the egg? The Mars Arena is played.
Oh, the Yule!
They get the Yules as well.
Oh,
the
perfect!
egg pops. GH is alive as a result. Nobody has died as well. Burrow Strike finds the Medusa. Inkswell onto Nothing to Say. He's going to get hookshot now, and now he's going to surely drop to the deck. One down for Tidebound. GH, Sunray, right on top of Bane with the spear to follow and the dead shot. That is going to be 2 kills.
Damn.
And they can go for the Tormentor play.
Cut your losses, Tidebound. Get the hell out of there. That was perfect from the Epi with Axe, and they are going to potentially try to contest this fight.
This is a huge deal. 8K lead for NGX. Arena finds 2 for Noob. No follow-up yet, though, as Ghost is trickling his way over. Nice rebuke on the 2 to follow, though. Omar trying to disrupt the backline. Already the Grimstroke is dead, and this Undying is just evaporating. Double kill for Ghost now, and inside the cock, this Bane is just getting completely countered. The Undying back up and running thanks to the Innate, so it's a 5 versus 3, but surely this fight is over as NGX will be able to secure the first Roach of the game.
Man, what a total disaster for Tidebound. It's a good point about Nigma Galaxy. If you think about their tournament journey in general, a lot of the games they lost, they were ahead. So in most of their games, they are actually outplaying opponents the first 20 minutes. If they have solved the mid-late game problems, this is potentially the start of something big.
Omar's going to get grip, and Noob is there again with the arena play. Bean's grip is continuing. They don't have any damage, it feels like. Pipe is popped, and just like that, the fight might be over. But there's the Chronosphere. On to GH. Stone Gaze is not going to be enough to prevent his death as Shiro does take out GH in turn. So 1-for-1 support. Make it a 2-for-1 as Y will tumble. Will there be a stun here on the TPing Void? No. Battery Assault down for 7 more seconds.
Nothing to Say, nowhere to be seen for that engagement. They did on Medusa, on the Muerta.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he is going to have insane zone. The zone control together with Mars is unreal.
And Feeble's going to make this a little bit more annoying for Ghost, but Eventually, with the help of that siege creep, they get the tier 3 tower. Tidebound. Bach is going to pop his ult with the tombstone placed pretty far away as well. Pipe is activated though, as the Medusa getting pretty low on mana, but this is just life number 1 regardless. Stone Gaze already used as well. Now New coming in with the arena, onto 3 heroes, gets the spear onto Bach with the dead shot to follow. That is a dead undying. Nothing to say, gets hookshot from out of nowhere by Omar, as these heroes are just dropping like flies for Tidebound. And this is surely going to be a set of racks, if not more. There are 2 buybacks still available, but a spear finding the Grimstroke, Planet dead. NGX dominating again in this game too.
I mean, this might be Noob's best game of the tournament.
Absolutely.
He has missed 1 spear and everything else has just been absolutely pristine precision on all his spellcasting, decision-making, itemization. He crushed his lane. He's had some haters out there telling him he doesn't belong. I'm pretty sure he's making a case in this game for why he's here. Can't really put a finger on his or Nigma Galaxy's play today, just crushing.
Easily going to be cleaned up by Ghost. This is going to be the last-ditch effort. Tidebound need to defend, need to delay. They're going to smoke to try to get a good initiation. There's the Inkswell with the epicenter from Nothing to Say. The Soulbind to follow. Shiro has the Chronosphere at the ready, but the Stone Gaze is doing absolute work for Ghost. Finally comes off the Chrono, but the Egg with the beautiful Sunray placement, and Tidebound have basically nothing left in the tank. They are dropping hard as Shiro trying to time walk away. He'll get it. No! Triple kill for Sumail as one last dead shot for the road. Buybacks now fully expended on the Tidebound side, as Bach just getting tied to a high degree by Ghost, who's still fighting despite not having Aegis and no mana to speak of, as Noob brings Bach down and likely out for the rest of this tournament. GG is called as NGX 2-0 and continue their run here at TI.
Wow. You could have told me earlier today that Nigma Galaxy might be leveling up after their loss yesterday and they would figure something out and bring their best. I would have not believed you that this series was going to take about an hour total. Completely destroyed them both games. This Medusa strategy, Tidebound did not have the answer, and credit where it's due. These have been 2 really nice drafts from Kuro and the gang, and really not. When you look back on this series, there isn't really much to say about Nigma Galaxy making any crucial mistakes. They knew their limits, they ran something new, they're bringing this mid Muerta to the table that other teams in the future now have to address. And for me, the player of the series, probably if I have to pick one, Omar and the Clockwork, 2 games in a row.
100%.
Stellar performance. And then